recently talked about how seeing our clothes as elements of style rather than just garments can completely change the way you see your closet and help you create more interesting outfits using what you've already got. Today I've got a couple of these like staple pieces and I'm gonna rework them into elements of style so that we can elevate a couple of outfits, and hopefully this helps you mix and match and shop your closet for the holiday season rather than buying stuff you don't need. Today's video is in partnership with my friends over at Nordgreen, who are doing me a solid and gifting me a watch that I can give to someone I love. I love this because I already have enough watches, I don't need a new one, and Nordgreen has a really fantastic giving back program, not just for this time of year, but they do this all year round. Every Nordgreen watch comes with a code that you can use to give back to 3 really important causes: education, the environment, and health. In addition to this giving back program, they've also recently launched their Guardian watch, which is made out of 85% recycled stainless steel. And in latest news, this is really exciting, they have recently earned their B Corp certification. This certification means that Nordgreen is now part of a global community of businesses that work with the highest standards of social and environmental impact. These standards inform all of their decisions so that they can balance profit and purpose. I continue to partner with Nordgreen because I genuinely like their watches and I like wearing them, but also because they don't constantly push new product on me or on my audience. A lot of the older styles that I have are still on their website today. So I love this unhurried and timeless sense of style. Longevity is always my biggest priority when it comes to adding things to my closet. Of course, I have a discount code for you. I will leave it in the description box below. You can use it now or hang on to it for when you are actually looking to purchase a new watch. Okay, that sparkly thing that you have in your closet, I have borrowed my mother's sequin blazer. I think a lot of us might have like a random sequin garment in our closet from years ago and we're just not sure how to style it. This to me feels like it was built with the pieces in mind and less about the elements and creating an outfit that feels fresh and like me. I think so many of us, when we see sequins or bright or an element that is a little bit over the top, like a fully sequined blazer, we automatically think, okay, I've got to tone it down, so I'll try and wear coordinating items in a similar color, hence the skirt, the black stockings, but I want to be festive, so I'm gonna add some red. Sure, those are all like style rules that we've heard before, and they can work. However, when we limit ourselves to thinking about our clothes in that way, in terms of rules, it really does limit us creatively. So here's how I would approach this. Jeans. These jeans in particular. However, this is still not working. Even if we bring in the red pumps to work with the red sweater, there's still something that feels a little bit off about this look. And I personally think it's because there's now too many elements kind of trying to compete with each other. The t-shirt. So I still have that nice, like relaxed, kind of loose-ish silhouette and vibe, which I had with the red sweater, but now it's not so high contrast. I'm also gonna roll up the sleeves, and I'm still gonna try the red pumps, because now this is the only kind of punchy element that we've got, and it's far away enough from the sequins so that they're not really fighting each other. I'm also gonna keep the tights. It almost kind of brings a little bit of a nostalgia to the look, which I really don't mind. I'm gonna add a watch. So it's almost like we've changed the ratio to be higher on like the casual, functional side of things with just a little bit of like festive fun, the sparkle and the shoes. All right, here's another combo, which again, like I don't hate this. If I were still in banking, I would probably wear this on a regular basis. But I think again, we often think about, okay, I've got a nice pair of trousers and a nice blouse and I'll just put them together because they're both a little bit more elevated than everyday wear. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this look. However, if we break it out into elements and we want to say, amp it up a little bit, maybe make it feel a little less corporate and a little bit more just like interesting and cool, I would change a couple things. Sometimes we might be inclined to add a third piece. When I add this blazer, we've got some fun print mixing. but I think we can maybe make it feel a little bit more relaxed and interesting. So this is still trousers and a blouse. However, the blouse is a little bit more whimsical. Instead of using a blazer, which felt, you know, really in line with the pants, I want to try something that feels maybe a little bit rougher. This isn't necessarily festive, but it's definitely a little bit cooler, like a little bit more like I'm ready to go socialize. I'm not ready to go like kick butt at a board meeting, you know? Okay, I like this. I'm gonna add like a little bit of maybe like sparkle and something that feels a little bit more elevated with this watch. Purse, another way to add a little bit of shine, a little bit of like something different, and also to soften out the structure. Like we've got a little bit of this like softness here in the blouse. The texture of the jacket gives us a little bit of that softness. The shapes are all pretty crisp and clean, so I like how the bag gives us that like softness a little bit. A skirt and a sweater. I think, again, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this look. We've got a nice, interesting tension between the knife pleats, like that sharp silhouette with something a little bit more slouchy. But I feel like maybe we could make this feel a little bit more styled and a little bit more personalized with the boots. I love wearing this slouchy boot with the knife pleat. I think it really like makes the skirt feel a little bit more fresh. What I want to try though is change up the sweater for perhaps a color that feels unexpected. I actually don't mind how these colors are playing together at all. The only thing is here, we're going to need to adjust the styling a bit because we've got the slouch on the bottom and something very slouchy and voluminous on top as well. It's feeling a little bit sloppy. This is too wide for me to wear it out, and it's also not quite long enough in terms of the proportions there. It's still feeling a little bit sloppy, so I'm actually gonna play with the neckline here. And I feel like this is a lot better. Balances out the boots, balances out the slouch, but it's less overwhelming because we're seeing a little bit more skin and a little bit more collarbone. I'm gonna forego the earrings, and instead I'm gonna add this gorgeous watch with the blue. I think that'll work so nicely with the sweater. We're adding again a little bit of this like metallic detail. You know what? It's a bit weird. It's like a lot of metallic, but I'm gonna go with this. And the reason why I chose this, if we're looking at elements of style, I think I'm leaning heavily into that kind of festive with the metallic, but also the slouch. I am a millennial. I feel like we cannot get away from the idea of jeans and a going out top. This look in itself is fantastic. I love it. I've totally worn it this way before, but there isn't a lot of variance. One of the ways that I can add interest and change up this look is to change the silhouette. Maybe I want to amp it up a little, bring in a little bit more drama. So I'm going to swap out the jeans. A wider leg adds a little bit more interest. And then just from a balance perspective in terms of proportion, I love how a wide leg balances out a really strong horizontal neckline. I still want to elevate this and make it feel a bit more interesting. So my boots, they're okay, but I am going to swap them out for something that has maybe a little bit more shine, something that can amp up my look. Something like these. It's a tall over the knee boot, but it fits under the wide leg, so it's actually really good for cold weather. But I really like how this like subtle shine amps up the look without overtaking it. Something else that I think we can easily do is add a belt. You're probably not shocked about this one. And it kind of adds that other little hit of texture. Rather than going with a purse like this, which would probably be the most expected, I would swap out the purse for something that feels a little bit off and maybe too fancy with the look, but it still works because of the nice soft texture and it's not too shiny. So I'm gonna add this sort of slouchy pouch clutch, and it's not too over the top because of the slouch, but this still feels a little bit subtle. It really plays well with the belt and everything else, and it doesn't overpower the patent in the boots. The little black dress. Yours doesn't have to be little or black. It could be like that go-to number that you bought with the intention of wearing over and over again. I thought I would take this little black dress in my closet and style it in a way that would feel maybe the most traditional or, you know, like the easiest. It's pretty pretty heavy. It's all black. This isn't horrible. We've got a little bit of like interest because of the patent leather in the shoe, but otherwise this just is really feeling like a giant block of black. Even if I did it with a purse like this, it would be okay. I want to bring some levity and lightness to it, not only just from a color perspective, but we can also think of this in like just the overall mood of the outfit. I want to lighten it up that way. So I'm going to swap out a couple things here. Number one, the tights. I think swapping out that heavier opaque tight makes this feel already a little bit softer and a little bit more playful. The sheerness gives you a little bit more versatility when it comes to choosing footwear. I don't think these are the shoes that I'm gonna finish with, but I just wanted to show you how having a stocking that is a little bit more sheer and less opaque gives you more options when it comes to your footwear. So the sheer with the stocking, the contrast is a little bit lower, it's a bit softer, and it doesn't feel so like in your face red shoe, you know? Oddly enough, since we're talking about not being heavy and adding a little bit of levity, I'm still gonna add these boots. I like how they balance out the structure in the blazer. My vintage cherubs. So I'm adding a little bit of tension and that levity again via earrings. I think I'm gonna finish it off with a purse. I could do this, I could lighten it up a bit, but I'm actually going to use this gorgeous little number. It is lighter in both color, but the giant bracelet handle and the super long tassel and that extra interesting detail with the fish scale leather, I find all of those little details make it feel just a little bit more playful, a little bit more whimsical than what we would expect. That is what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you have a favorite outfit formula in the comments below. Don't forget I have that discount code for you from Nordgreen. Thank you again to Nordgreen for sponsoring today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you learned something new, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back with another slow fashion video. Ciao!